Have you ever heard the expression focus or die? Do you know what squirrel syndrome is? IPA, income producing activities, prioritization, how to start, stop, continue. In this video, I'm going to talk about focus in certain principles of business in order to succeed. Because if you don't, your business will die. Focus or die. Here we go. Let's get started. I'm actually going to drive to work today. I'm going to work on a condo that I have. And I got this new little suction cup from my window, and this is going to be multitasking. So I won't be really looking at the camera, but I'm going to talk about focus. Okay. I learned in a conference this acronym called IPA, Income Producing Activities. But honestly, you could put this into any aspect of your life, whether it be emotional, spiritual, physical health, business health, personal development. Focus or die. I'm going to tell you what I see people do in the epoxy game. You know, that's where my wife and I started multiple businesses. We've actually pretty much always been self-employed. We did have some jobs that we worked for other people. My wife did better at working for other people than I did. I usually get fired. But I'll tell you what, in running your own business, if you didn't focus, you're going to lose. Let me explain. In epoxy, I see people come into the epoxy world all the time. I actually mentor a lot of folks that come into the epoxy world and they want to start an epoxy business. And what I found to be the most successful in epoxy is people who actually didn't know that much about construction, unfortunately. Because the people in the trades who've been in the trades for years and years and years, right now there's a massive shortage of people who work in the trades. Massive. Like, you don't have enough people to be electricians, plumbers, roofers, concrete guys, carpenters. If anybody's looking to get into a winning career, learn a trade. Like, learn a trade no matter what. But I don't want to get off focus here. Let's focus on what I'm talking about with these guys who come into the epoxy game. So I've found the most success is when somebody has an entrepreneurial mindset. They don't know much about construction, but they see, my videos. They've seen my videos on how to turn an old countertop, in this case, into something that looks new, that looks like a high-end piece of natural stone. They see this concept and a light bulb goes off in their head. That would be a fantastic business. But what do? They get some epoxy, they try a countertop, they love it, they get some accolades from the Facebook post that they throw up there and say, hey, check out what I made. It may not be perfect, but it was really cool. They were really excited with their results. And all of a sudden, they want to learn how to do floors. They want to learn, I'm just saying hi to people as we're driving by. They want to learn how to do floors. They want to learn how to do showers, art. They want to learn how to do mantles and wall pieces. And they tell everybody, I can match any kind of stone. You show me a picture of a stone, I'll match it. And then they start saying it's more durable than granite. It's better than granite. It's better than stone. Your stone sucks. And they're going off in all of these different tangents because they learned how to make something look like a piece of stone, one color. Let me give you the approach on how to do this focused, okay? So if I were going to mentor you and you wanted to get good at epoxy and you wanted to start an epoxy business, here's exactly what I would tell you on our first call. Oh, I got somebody coming through here. I got dogs walking over here. Hello. I would tell you this. Number one, figure out what colors suffice the needs of the general public, meaning you don't need some flamboyant piece with purples and pinks. That's not really going to suffice the broad spectrum of a customer's desire, what they want their kitchen countertops to look like. All right, so what do most people want? They want earth tones. They want things that look like marble. They want soapstone. They want certain colors. Now, if you haven't seen my epoxy videos, this applies to everything. Just ad lib. What are people looking for most in your business? If you're getting in the pressure washing business, what do people want pressure washed the most? If you're window washing, pretty simple. If you're selling alarms door to door, what do people want the most? What are they trying to protect? Are they trying to protect their home or their fridge? Like, where are you going to put the contacts? So you got to know what your customers want, and that's what you're going to focus on. So if I was starting to mentor you in how to become an epoxy business, I would tell you 5 colors. Master 5 colors. Your recipe, boy, this thing's loose. Let me try to tighten it real quick. I just got this new thing. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. All right. Master 5 colors. Master the 5 colors that you see people gravitate towards most. You can even poll your audience. You know, pick a bunch of colors of natural stone, screenshot it, put up, say, what's your favorite colors? You know, put 15, 20 of them up, number them, say, pick your top 5. And you're going to see a common denominator within those. Learn how to mimic those colors and only offer those colors. And only do countertops. In fact, you could start out only doing vanities. Just say, hey, replace your vanity countertops for this price. Here's a 3-foot, 4-foot, and a 6-foot vanity price. It's easy to bid. You already got the colors figured out. You got your 5 samples. They pick their best. And in fact, you could pre-make these. You could have them finished on both sides and cut the side that jams to the wall, or it's open. Most vanities are within those dimensions. You could have some pre-made. Think about how simple your business would be if you offered 5 colors and you were a one-trick pony. All you would have to do then is learn how to advertise, because you would have more business, because there's a shortage, I'm telling you, especially in the 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. That's who we serve most. You know, we serve people who can't afford natural stone. So if that's the case, and that's what you're focused on, and you're literally not trying to learn a new trade every single week, and, you know, income producing activities, you don't make any money watching a video. You don't make any money studying. You're not making any money watching this right now. You'll start making money by applying and taking action on the advice that I'm giving right here, right now, which is focus on what you're best at. Don't overcomplicate it, and don't try to get all the customers. When you focus on, if you're trying to get good in YouTube, and you try to make a video that niches out to everybody, which is kind of an oxymoron. It's not a wide niche, like literally niche down. If you focus on an avatar, meaning when I made my epoxy videos, I thought of a person, and I spoke directly to a person who's a do-it-yourselfer, who hasn't been introduced to epoxy, and they're online, they're searching how to do concrete countertops, because literally they want to do their own counters and they know they can't do natural stone. Tile is out of date for countertops, so they figure I can do concrete countertops. It's seamless, it'll look okay, it's kind of a trend. And this is, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And the moment that I catered to people looking to do their own countertops, they were searching concrete, they came across epoxy, and I'm going to teach them how to overlay their old countertops to save 10 times their time and 10 times their money. Did you hear my previous video? That's what it talks about. If you haven't seen my last video on how to stop wasting your money on Facebook and YouTube ads, go watch it after this one. Let me tell you what, focus, laser focus doesn't inhibit you. It actually explodes your growth, because A, the variables are mitigated. You get to do your testing without, where did I mess up? If you're just trying to get customers in vanity countertops with 5 colors, you're going to learn where you lose that customer. Have you ever been in a sales appointment and you could just see somebody's eyes glaze over? You could see, you know, I get to look in the analytics of a video, and sometimes there'll be a tent pole where it goes up, where I get this massive attention, but sometimes I get the opposite. It's a valley, a giant valley, where everything dips and I lose like most of my audience. It's because my video just got boring. I did something wrong. I said something wrong. It's my fault. Hold on, let me check. Do the gate. Aloha, how are you? Have a good day. I'm going to work on the condo, so you got to have a little gate pass. That's what that was about. All right. So here's your homework. I want you in the comments to say what niche you're in. okay? And if you're in a niche, are you guilty of squirrel syndrome? Are you trying to focus on too many things and now you're not doing good at any of them? If you're guilty of that, I want you to, say guilty in the comments. I'm guilty of that. If you're not guilty of it, tell us what you're focusing on. And tell us if this is true, what I'm saying right now. And if that's where you found the success. Because I would hypothesize it is. I would hypothesize that most successful business is very successful because they got good at one thing at a time, typically. Now, when I was starting my epoxy business, I was also doing cabinets. I was remodeling kitchens and bathrooms. I was taking on work in just about any aspect of remodeling because I needed the work. I didn't understand how to find the customer in the thing that I was best at. So it is contingent on all aspects of building a business. But if you watch my channel in the coming months, coming weeks, coming days, I'm kind of motivated right now to reach back and help the people that are a little bit lost, because I feel like if I bring you value, it's gonna fulfill a few things. Number one, I'm gonna build trust with you, because that's how you build business. I don't know what I'm gonna do in the future, but I know if I add value to you, that opportunity presents itself down the road. Number two, which is actually my number one, this is a living library and documented content for my posterity, man. I want my kids who love me to have some advice from their dad at 43 years old. They get to go back and look at my journey. This is basically a time capsule. So just like Babe Ruth calling the shots and saying, if you hit the ball there, it'll go. If you point there, the ball's going to go there when you get up to the plate. I'm telling you guys, focus on one thing and set a period of time to focus on it. Don't quit your job. Keep your income happening. The best time to do this, obviously, is when you have the least amount of responsibilities and commitments that you have to feed kids and take care of bills. If you have to feed kids and take care of bills, you got to get that done so you have the ability to not stress out on how am I going to pay the bills. Get that taken care of, but then stop wasting your time in scrolling Facebook and watching dumb videos and binge watching Netflix, and focus on that one thing that's going to move the needle for you. Because there's nothing that you can do career-wise working for somebody else that will typically pay the dividends that if you build your own business, your own future, and you become your own boss. Now, that's not for everybody, trust me. You shouldn't become your own boss if you can't focus. You should work for somebody else who tells you what to do all day long if you can't focus. And honestly, there's a lot of great jobs out there that people are like, I'm not really interested in becoming this financial guru. I want my bills paid so I could live a different life. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. I was happiest in my life living in 1,000 square foot house, 2 bedrooms that me and my wife built, and hiking in the woods, getting our own firewood, and being a Boy Scout leader and taking these kids on high adventure trips. Like that's probably when I was the most happy. So figure out what you want to do and how to focus on that one thing. And I would say, I'm going to give you a thing that changed my life, and I'll end with this. This is really, really important. This guy, he goes to a speaker, and the speaker's a guru. He's like a motivational guy, and he's like, the guy comes up and says, hey, I really am looking for mentorship, and I would love to learn more about what you do. I would do anything that you ask me to do. I'm desperate, bro. Like, help me out. And the mentor says, and I think I heard this from Les Brown. I may change it up a little bit, but you'll get the idea, because this is really important. And the mentor says, hey, listen, meet me at the beach tomorrow morning at 5 in the morning. And the guy goes, all right, where at? And he says the beach, he says the parking lot to meet him at. The guy says, all right, I'll be there at 5 in the morning. So the mentee shows up to the mentor, and the mentor's already there. He's already ready to go. He's actually gotten a bunch done on the cell phone and doing his work that day. Here comes the guy, shows up, and he's in a suit and tie at the beach. Okay. So the mentor says, come on, walk with me. They walk out on the beach and they go towards the water's edge, and this guy's got this nice suit on, and they start walking out into the water. And as they walk out into the water, it's going up to his knees, it's going up to his belt line, it's going up to his chest, and the swell's hitting his neck. It's about right here. And the mentor's a tough dude. He grabs him by the back of his neck, and he dunks his head under the water. And the guy's submissive at first, but something changes, and he starts to fight because he can't breathe and he's out of breath. You see, when you're out of breath, your body does this interesting thing. I do a lot of scuba diving, I do a lot of free diving, I do a lot of ocean time out here in Hawaii where I live, and your body starts to twitch, and it's telling you it needs oxygen. But you actually still have quite a bit of time before you're going to pass out when your body has this reaction. But it's scary. So this guy's actually scared. He's scared for his life. And he starts to fight the mentor. And he's like, no. And he's not saying it. He's screaming underwater bubbles, and he's fighting. Well, the more that you fight, the more that you aren't relaxed, the quicker you drown. And he's fighting, and he's fighting, and he gets his face, kind of breathes water air, and the guy dunks him again. And he's fighting, and he's fighting, and this goes on. Finally, he lets him up. And he says to him, when you want X, meaning your focus, whatever it is that you're trying to get, when you want that as bad as you just wanted to breathe, when you're fighting as hard as you just were for that, as bad as you wanted to breathe, that's when you'll get it. Like, I was listening to this story years ago, and it absolutely changed the way that I thought about goals. You see, you're never going to achieve your highest aspirations. Never. If you do, they're way too low. If you have aspirations and you raise them to the moon, and of course you fall short, you've heard it, you're still in the stars. But if you don't have a roadmap, if you don't have a location you're trying to get, if you haven't set a goal, if you're so unfocused that, the next thing on your feed pops up, oh, that's what I'm going to do, you're never going to get anywhere. So that's my advice for today, is focus or die. That's my hope. Guys, comment below. Have you focused? And if not, what are you going to focus on? Until next time, I'm Mike Quist. You got this. I'll see you on the next video.